In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful, I offer my greetings and respect to you, my dear friends. I am Hamed Saidi, and I warmly welcome you to the Kial channel. Today, I would like to share with you the fascinating and very interesting topic of understanding the lineage of the Jinn. First, let me explain something very important to you before we go any further. The Jinn are ancient supernatural beings who inhabited the earth long before humans ever existed. And they are unique single-element creatures fundamentally composed of 4 distinct elements. Some of them are of the element of water, some of fire, some of earth, and some of air. Let me tell you, the topic of the presence of Jinn on earth is very extensive, and they have very, very large families and tribes. But the very important point here is that different kinds live on earth, and they have tribes and families. They are creatures with intelligence, beings that have varying degrees of intellect and are quite capable of understanding emotions and feelings. There is a vast and diverse array of numerous different families and species of these beings. And now, based on a comprehensive and broad general overview, we will begin to introduce and describe in detail several of the specific clans and groups of these Jinn to you. These are the groups that are more likely to have an impact on our lives, and in one way or another we might interact with them. The first Jinn, or the first family, or the first species is called Khannas, which is also mentioned in Surah An-Nas of the Holy Quran. The Khannas, or the Khannas group, or let's say the Jinn al-Khannas. Their main mission is to tempt human beings and, in a way, to lead people astray from the right path. Of course, all of them in some way have this responsibility, but the way to drive them away is by reciting Surah An-Nas and Surah Al-Falaq, which will keep this Jinn away. The second type of these creatures is called Ghoul, which mostly live in deserts, wildernesses, mountains, and plains. Their job is to mislead humans and lead them astray, meaning they try to change a person's path, make them lose their way, get them entangled, and of course many other things that these creatures are capable of. They are extremely powerful. Of course, if someone unfortunately has to deal with them by reciting the call to prayer, azan, they go away and get out of the person's path. Another type of these creatures is called the abducting Jinn, which we might encounter in some way. Let's say sometimes you're looking for something, a tool or an object, and it's not there. You've checked your desk over and over and you see that it's not there. Then you come back and suddenly, hey, it's right where it should be. This Jinn, in a way, is what you might call light-fingered and likes to steal things. This creature is attributed to the family of Jinn and the Jinn al-Tayyar. Another example of these creatures, or another family or species of them, is called the Jinn al-Sa'ali, which specifically teaches humans magic. Of course, humans who want to open portals and enter this field of knowledge and who are led astray unfortunately get involved with this type of Jinn. For example, Atlas and Betlus are those who stand in the way of people who genuinely want to delve into occult sciences. That's why it's dangerous. This family quickly notices and intercepts them, leading humans astray and teaching them extremely dangerous forms of magic. The most well-known among them are Atlas and Betlus. Another example of these creatures is a Jinn called Alaysam. This Jinn is somewhat like what we call a fifth column, or in other words, it's a revealer of secrets and a bringer of news. You know, sometimes there are people, hopefully none of you, my friends, are among them. Sometimes, for example, when people go to a sorcerer's or a witch's house, as soon as the person sees them, they start talking about their past. Like they ask, what's your name? What's your mother's name? These people get help from these kinds of Jinn, and in a way, they work for them and reveal other people's secrets to them as they are affiliated with this group. Another type of these creatures or beings is called Subyan, which is an extremely wicked and dangerous entity. Usually every tribe has several al-Subyan among them. To describe their appearance for you, they're like old hags who are truly powerful and have no mercy or compassion whatsoever. They love to inflict physiological harm on human children, infants, and babies, and they have absolutely no mercy or kindness because in a way, a child's energy is pure and they try to take advantage of that. It is also possible that some people might get entangled with them, and they are extremely dangerous and wicked beings. Another type of these creatures is called Jinn Al, which harms pregnant women and infants. In fact, this Jinn Al is somewhat female in nature, and she is extremely attracted to pregnant women. In ancient times, it was said not to leave pregnant women alone, especially in the later stages of their pregnancy. Do not, under any circumstances, keep newborn babies, children who have just been born, away from yourself for the first 40 days. And make sure that in the room where the mother and her newborn are, the father tries to be present, because the presence of the father keeps this type of jinn away and in a way prevents it from causing harm. And there are other solutions as well, which I will definitely discuss in detail in future sessions and explain the topic to you, because it is a very serious matter. Another example from this family, or these categories, is the righteous and pious jinn, which are a group of Muslim jinn who help humans significantly. They help a great deal. There have been many times, for example, when people have gotten lost in deserts, wildernesses, or mountains, and this jinn has come and shown them the way. In a way, it prevents devils and other jinn from harming humans, and it is one of those Muslim jinn who have helped humans time and time again. Another example I'd like to mention is the jinn called Zawba'a. He is the chief of the devils in terrifying talismans, and when sorcerers want to use extremely powerful spells, this jinn appears and is present in the talismans, helping the sorcerers. Unfortunately, he can cause very serious harm to humans and is considered one of the most dangerous and terrifying jinns. There is absolutely nothing to take lightly about him. Especially those sorcerers who think they can summon and make this type of jinn their servant have unfortunately suffered extremely serious harm. In a way, it becomes irreversible and they can no longer make up for it, and this is yet another example of such jinn. Another example from this lineage is called Tamri. This creature is an ally, supporter, and protector of Satan and is mostly found in the east and west of the world. It is a friend and brother to Satan, a sworn enemy of humans, and shows no mercy or compassion. Most of them live in tribes, and unfortunately they are extremely dangerous. Another type of jinn whose name we have often heard and mistakenly confused with Satan is the Iblis jinn. The Iblis jinn, in a way, has despaired of God's mercy and mostly stands in the way of faithful people. Those who want to do good deeds, have good intentions, want to help their fellow humans move toward the light and serve God. This jinn stands in their path and sows despair and hopelessness in people's hearts. And unfortunately, most people who suffer from severe depression, not all of them, as some may have mental health issues, but in some cases, it has happened that many depressions are actually caused by the infiltration and entry of this type of jinn into people's lives, which leads to very severe depression. Another type of these creatures is Satan, whom everyone already knows. He is extremely wicked, extremely dangerous, and a sworn enemy of humans to the death. He will do whatever he can to lead people away from the right path and from servitude to God. Another type of these creatures is the Mard jinn. A sworn enemy of humans, it has no mercy or compassion whatsoever and is extremely rebellious and untamable. There is absolutely no way to even talk to it or resolve any issues if there are any. And it actually enjoys harming humans and takes pleasure in humiliating them and in a way making them its own servants. Because it loves it when a human wants to bow down to it, beg it, and ask it for something. This is extremely dangerous. Another type of these creatures is called Ifrit. And even in ancient times, if someone wanted to insult someone else, the word Ifrit came from this very origin. An Ifrit is extremely capable, extremely powerful, and loves to infiltrate the hearts of humans. It loves to possess humans. Most people who become possessed by jinn, who experience jinn possession, develop a fear in their hearts and suffer from very severe paranormal problems. Unfortunately, the majority of them have been afflicted by Ifrit or Afarit, which are extremely capable and very powerful. Another type of these creatures is called Amer, which lives among ordinary people. it poses no danger to humans. Of course, it is not dangerous unless it wants to follow Malek Tarash. If it is not from the families or tribes that follow Malek Tarash, it poses no danger to humans and lives among people in its own dimension. Another type of this family or these creatures is called Mazab. Mazab, in a way, sows the seeds of rebellion against servitude to God in the hearts of humans and likes to lead people astray. It is a very dangerous jinn and can take on any form except for the forms of the saints of God, prophets and imams. It cannot take on those forms. This jinn constantly changes its shape and location, and it mostly appears in people's dreams, causing them fear, distress and torment. Thank you very, very much for staying with us up to this point. I'd be happy if you'd like to watch our next videos, subscribe to our channel and encourage us with your support so we can make more videos for you. If you'd like us to talk about a particular topic or subject, I'd be very happy if you write it for me in the comments. My WhatsApp number is available and open 24 hours a day. Whenever you want, you can send a message and I will gladly respond to each and every one of your messages. It might take a little time because there are a lot of messages, but I absolutely will get in touch with you and we'll have a chat and conversation together. Thank you very much, and I entrust you to God until the next lesson and the next session. Take care. May God protect you.